Okay, line number 9. If a person knows testimony for his friend of enemy, line doesn't testify for him. But Maya skin on line 10. What are we dealing with? What is this case? Because according to the Torah, you have to testify if you know something that needs to be said and based in. If you're going to say it's a group of 2 witnesses, pshita, duh, it's obvious that you have to test it, that you're going to have to, you'll be in trouble. Why? Da'iraisu, it's a mitzvah mid'araisa to testify if you know testimony. It's obvious that you'll be chayiv b'dinei shemayim. Well, I don't need the Mishnah to tell me this. Why? Because you can't get in trouble for not doing something in Beis Din, but you're definitely causing someone loss. So what's the chiddush here? As it says in the Torah, im la yagid, if he does not tell, v'nosa avoinai, he shall bear his sin. Meaning that if 2 people don't give testimony, they got an aveira. So what's it talking about? Ela b'chad. Rather, it's talking about where there was 1 witness. Now, what can 1 witness accomplish? Because what he can do, right? What he can do is he cannot make someone pay, but he can make someone swear. So if I know testimony that Reuven owes Shimon $100, if I come to Beis Din, I say I testify that Reuven owes Shimon $100, and then if Reuven denies the claim, then Reuven actually has to swear that he doesn't owe the money. It's a chiyuv mid'araisa to swear. No questions right now. Okay, so those are the 4 cases. Now we understand exactly what the case is and exactly why you be chayiv b'dinei adam. B'dinei shemayim, sorry. So now v'su leka, line number 12. V'su leka, are there no more cases? Line 12. Why are we pinpointing these 4 cases? Surely there are other cases in which you'll be chayav b'dinei shemayim and part b'dinei adam. Why are we doing that? Psst, psst. Line 12. V'su leka, are there no more cases? V'ha'ika, are there these next following cases? And you see that it says simon. This is a mnemonic, a memory aid for the 5 cases we're going to say. Ha'oiseh, b'sam, v'shaliach, chaver, nishba. It's just a memory aid to remind us that there are 5 cases and what they are. What are these 5 cases? If a person does work with the waters of the paraduma, or with the actual paraduma itself before it's been sacrificed. If work was done with the ashes of the paraduma or with the paraduma itself, then using the ashes, the water with the ashes as the paperweight, or using the actual paraduma as to plow a field, that renders it unfit for use as a paraduma. You haven't done tangible damage, but you have prevented people from being able to use it. So in such a case, on line number 14, since there's no monetary loss, he can't pay, or Beis Din can't make him pay. Next case, line 15. What about this case? Isn't that this case? If someone puts poison in front of someone else's animal, part of it, he's part of Beis Din, but chayiv in shemayim. But hang on a second, you say, but he put the food in front of him. I didn't make it eat it. I didn't shove it in its mouth. I didn't shove it in its mouth. As was just mentioned. I didn't make it eat. So therefore, Beis Din can't hold me responsible, but in Shemayim they can. Line number 17. What about this case? If you send the embers in the hand of a cheresh, a mute, or an insane person, or a child. Now let's tie this into Chumash. We have the machtais, we have the fire pans in Chumash. So if you send that fire pan full of coal with someone who's irresponsible, and I've lost my place, and then it causes a fire, you be pot in Beis Din, why? Hang on a second. Didn't you send embers, which is ridiculous? Even though you sent embers, it's one step removed from the actual flame. So therefore, it's not considered to be direct. If you, however, if you set a flaming torch with one of these guys, a cher shirt of a cotton, then Taki be chayiv and basted. But in this case, you're not. Line number 19. What about this case? If you scream in someone's ear and cause them damage, you didn't touch them, you just screamed in their ear. Part of you're part of basted. You have to pay in Shemayim. Line 21, another case. What about this case? If you drop, if your pitcher breaks in public property and you don't clean it up, and if your camel falls and you don't help it up and someone gets damaged, Rameh says you're chayiv for the damage. Chachamim say you're potter in Beistin and chayiv in Shemayim. It's not yours. You actually made it. In order to be a damager of bar, it has to be hefker. So it's not yours. But since it's not yours, you be potter in Shem Beistin. It's so confusing. Line 24. So we've now given those 5 cases. We now have 5 more cases that you are chayav b'dinei adam v'chayav b'dinei shemayim. So why did Rabbi Yeshua choose these 4 cases before of breaking the fence and lighting the fire and not testifying and hiring false witnesses? Why? So the Gemara answers line 24. Line 24. Yes. Miha ikutuba. There are plenty of cases where you're part of b'dinei adam v'chayav b'dinei shemayim. V'hani is drichale, but he needs these 4 cases. We need to pinpoint these 4 cases. Why? Ma'al detema b'dinei shemayim nami lo lechayiv. I would think that in our 4 cases of Yeshua, you won't even be chayiv in shemayim. Not being here for this is not going to be an excuse. Not being in the class. Face the front. Please. I would think it wouldn't be chayv in shemayim. Why? Kamash malan. So now it comes to teach us that you're still chayv in shemayim. Now we can explain why in each of those 4 cases I would think I'm not chayv in shemayim, but I really am. Hapoy, read line 26. Look in. Hapoy is gedeb if I smash the fence in front of someone's animal, Ma'al Detema, I would have thought, given to the mystery, since it was going to fall down anyway, Koi, Ma'avid, what have I done? I didn't do anything, wouldn't have happened anyway. So, I lost my place. But Din Shemayim Lami no l'chayv, I shouldn't be chayv in Shemayim. Kamash Malon, it comes to teach us that yes you are, because it's none of your business to make it happen earlier. Line 28 at the end of the line. What about bending the guy's straw in front of the fire? Aye. Nami, Maldetema. What would I say? What would I think? I'd think this. Was I to know that a super duper wind was going to come? That's why it's called a super duper wind. It's not normal. So I shouldn't even be chayiv in Shemayim. Kamash Malan. So Rabbi Yeshua comes to teach us, yes you are. Because at the end of the day, you still put it in the path. But it's only in Shemayim. Or Ravashi. What about Ravashi? The Amadnami Tamun Itma, who said that we're not talking about where a super duper wind came. Rather, we're talking about where Reuven covers Shimon's crops so that Levi, who started the fire, won't have to pay for the crops. Because it's Tamun Eish. Ma'al I would have thought, all I did was cover over the grain. I didn't do anything to do with the fire. So I shouldn't have been chayiv in Shemayim. Please look in, everyone. Line 34. Please look in. 34. Kamash Malan. So Rabbi Yeshua or Rabbi Ravashi in this case teaches us that this is the case that you're going to be you're still going to be chayiv in Shemayim. 2 more cases. What about someone who rents false witnesses? What would he say? Lema, he could say, Divrei Avrava, Divrei Talmud, Divrei Mishaymin. I rented them to testify. Hashem said they're not allowed to lie. The fact they listened to me and didn't listen to Hashem is their problem with Hashem. What's it to do with me? They should have known not to testify. It wasn't me. So, Ubadina Shemayim, Nami Lo L'Chayim, and I shouldn't be Chayiv in Shemayim. So, Kamash Malon, Rabbi Yeshua comes to teach us, yes, he's still Chayiv in Shemayim. Last case, V'hayedeya, Eidas Chaveiroi, line 37, line 37, line 37, line 37 in the Gemara. Line 37, line 37. Kamash Malon is the first word of the part of the line. Okay. What about that one person who knows testimony for someone else but doesn't testify? Nami, Maldate, what would I thought there? Mi yema dechi hava mesadinale hava maida. How am I to know if when I testify he's going to admit? Oh yeah, so I come along, one person. I testify that Mr. X and Mr. A owes Mr. B $100. Mr. A might come along and say, no, I don't. And I swear I don't. Dilma, maybe he's going to just lie. So what's maybe there's no point in me going. If it was two witnesses, then it's a clear-cut case. Slam dunk. And, but in this case, Mr. A can still get away with it. So why should I testify? So I shouldn't be chayiv in Shemayim. Kamash Malon comes to teach us, yes, still chayiv in Shemayim. And that concludes this sugya.